This is Electric Universe Eyes, and today I want to share a few books with you that I encourage you to read. The first two are by Immanuel Velikovsky, Earth in Upheaval. The second is also by Velikovsky, called Mankind and Amnesia. Aside from Worlds in Collision, these are probably two of the most important books I've ever read that compare real history, real geology, real information, real things that have been suppressed, and compared, but this guy got a lot of heat from the scientific community because he's using actual scripture, actual recorded history, actual information, and even compares mythology and legends and all of these other things that, again, are fully supported when you start to compare all of the world religions and cultures. There's another gentleman, I want to show you his book. I've read his first one, and this is number 2. I just started reading it. It's called And the Earth Shall Reel To and Fro. It's the Prophecy Trilogy, Volume 2. And this is by the late gentleman Anthony Larsen, which I greatly respect. He's done lots of work past all 3 of these books. These are from the late 80s and 90s, I believe. So I know he's got an online website that you can go and check out. I haven't gotten to check out that before, but I was fascinated with a lot of his work online on his forums and seeing some of his YouTube videos, and it encouraged me to purchase all 3 of his books. And again, he is very Velikovsky based as well as his religion. So I wanted to share some things with you here. Specifically, just wanted to read here at the beginning of the book, a word of caution. The reader would do well to remember that ancient and modern prophets wrote of catastrophic events in their own times, in times before them, and in times to come. Indeed, in their visions, they were given the now perspective of the past and the future that the Lord has. Hence, they described their experiences from the same perspective. Because this book deals with the catastrophic events from the prophet's perspective, the reader may find himself reading of both past and future events in the same page, sometimes in the same paragraph. The prophets habitually mixed their references to the past and the future. Though this may prove somewhat confusing at first, such treatment of the material is necessary in order to see things through the eyes of the prophets, remembering that they undoubtedly were shown the past and the future from the same perspective the Lord sees them, from the now perspectives. Once the reader understands that same perspective, he can easily grasp the prophetic message of the prophets and decipher the same references in any other book of Scripture, ancient or modern. Do you hear that? I'm going to read that again. Once the reader understands that same perspective, he can easily grasp the prophetic message of the prophets and decipher the same references in any other book of Scripture, ancient or modern. This further goes to support my notion that I've shared with you guys, that I believe the root of all religions are correct. They're just misinterpreted and misunderstood. You have to understand how to translate what is being told. Okay, let's continue. The topics are wide-ranging, diverse, and touch on a multitude of disciplines. The reader should not be dismayed in being confronted with archaeology one minute and prophecy the next, astronomy on the one hand and mythology on the other. Every effort has been made to present the material in a plain and orderly manner so as to be comprehensible to the layman. Indeed, the author himself is but a layman, seeking to solve the puzzles that confound us. The emphasis here is on making the material as understandable as possible. Hopefully, this interpretation of history, prophecy, and science will make them all more intelligible and logical. Learn what is to come. Part of the truth that we must deal with is the knowledge that the prophesied catastrophes will profoundly change every aspect of our lives and the world we live in. Hence, we should become familiar with the changes that past calamities wrought on the world so that we might know what to expect and how to deal with them when such things occur in our time. The careful, detailed analysis of past catastrophes have provided a format, a blueprint, if you will, of how such events occur. Although each catastrophe had its own peculiarities, they all had several effects or manifestations in common, and they all shared this one commonality. Every major worldwide calamity was caused by extraterrestrial agents, bodies in space. That common denominator provides the key to understanding the same type of calamities yet to come. Hence, because we have a rather accurate blueprint of past events, we also have an accurate blueprint of future events. And just as we might examine the plans for a building to learn how it is to be assembled and what it will look like, we may examine the catastrophe model by examining past calamities and then compare our model to prophecy in order to learn what the future holds for us. We share the vision. The seer's vision, the ability to look backward and forward through the corridors of time, is a marvelous and unique gift given to only a few. It is true that no man can know the past or the future except by revelation, a gift from God. Those of us who have not yet received or developed this gift must depend on those who have. Happily, we have the writings of many men, seers, who have seen the past and the future, and now in addition, we also have a key to assist us in understanding what they saw and described. Their vision becomes our vision too. Look, I am no prophet. I am a regular person, born just like you, going through the same struggles you are. I am nobody special. I am also a layman, searching for the truth. But I feel that these are the keys that have, only by us now living in 2019, have the technology and the ability to compare all data, to aggregate mass scales of information using all kinds of servers and the internet, and everybody being able to share their opinion of their comparisons and their entire life to say, this seems the most logical, versus things that just don't make sense. So what I am asking you is to look at everything and compare everything, past, present, and future. Look at the scriptures, look at every religion, look for the core story, the core characters, the core information of the problems and the resolutions that everybody went through in any culture on this planet at any given time. Compare those. That's what I'm asking you to do. Thanks.